Welcome aboard the Love Boat. This is not a vessel of pleasure cruises and tropical destinations. This is a journey where the siren song promises everything you have ever wanted. It whispers of connection in a world that feels disconnected. It offers a sense of belonging when you feel utterly alone. But this journey does not lead to a sun-drenched paradise. Instead, it plummets into a bottomless abyss, a realm of despair and suffocating darkness. This is the story of Lila, a vibrant young woman whose dreams were once as expansive and limitless as the vast night sky. The city is her canvas, a sprawling landscape of potential just waiting for her to make her mark. Her journey is about to begin, not on a ship of dreams, but on a vessel bound for the deepest parts of hell itself. Our story begins here, amidst the fading echoes of innocent laughter and the shimmering outlines of youthful dreams. But it is a story that will quickly and brutally disintegrate. What is this love boat, you might be asking yourself? It is more than just a substance, it is a phenomenon. It is a drug that has come to fill the hollow, aching hearts of so many lost souls, promising the profound warmth of love in a world where a cold, biting isolation reigns supreme. It is presented as an elixir, a magical potion carefully wrapped in the gossamer wings of dreams and fantasies. Lila is not walking this path by herself. She is surrounded by her friends, a tight-knit group navigating the complexities of young adulthood together. Tonight, they huddle together in a dimly lit alleyway, the air thick with anticipation and a shared sense of rebellion. Their shared laughter dances through the stale air like a swarm of flickering, ephemeral fireflies. They believe they are simply seizing the night, unaware that the night is about to seize them, dragging them into a darkness from which they may never return. The air in the alley is cool and still, a stark contrast to the nervous energy buzzing between the four friends. Lila, ever the leader, breaks the silence with a theatrical flourish. "Check this out," she announces, her voice a captivating blend of confidence and pure mischief. From the pocket of her worn denim jacket, she pulls out a small, unassuming packet filled with a fine white powder. In the faint glow of a distant street lamp, it seems almost magical, like captured starlight or crushed pearls. "Welcome," she says with a dramatic pause, her eyes wide with excitement, "to the Love Boat. But beware, this is not starlight. It is a seductive, insidious poison. Each shimmering grain holds a beckoning call, a whisper that promises to elevate them beyond their mundane worries." As they lean in closer, their faces illuminated by the faint glow, they are unknowingly on the precipice of a terrible decision. They are about to inhale the tainted, cloying sweetness of the Love Boat. A moment of hesitation falls over the group. Ava, whose wild spirit usually embraces risk without a second thought, is the first to voice the doubt that flickers in all their minds. "Do you think it's safe?" she asks, her voice barely a whisper. Lila, however, is unshakable. "It's just something new," she says, her tone light and dismissive. "What's life without a little risk?" Her words are a challenge, a dare to step over the line from the known into the thrilling unknown. Noah, the skeptic, watches Lila's performance with a conflicted expression. Yet, the emotional pull of shared experience, of not being the one left behind, is a powerful counterforce. Marcus, the quiet observer, remains silent, his dark eyes fixed on the powder. The outcome of this dance will set the course for the rest of their lives. The silence stretches, thick with unspoken thoughts and unasked questions. Lila leans forward, her movements deliberate and certain, and with a small rolled-up bill, she inhales a line of the powder. For a moment, she is perfectly still, her eyes closed. Then a slow smile spreads across her face, a look of pure, unadulterated bliss that seems to light up the dark alley. One by one, the others follow her lead. Ava, her earlier hesitation forgotten, is next. Then Noah, the thoughtful skeptic, finally succumbs. Finally, it is Marcus's turn. In this shared act, they are bound together not just by friendship, but by a new, dark secret. They have crossed a line together, stepping from the world of youthful innocence into a realm of adult choices with irreversible consequences. The days that follow their first taste of the love boat begin to blur into a hazy, indistinguishable continuum of nights. What started as a single act of rebellious curiosity quickly morphs into a consuming ritual, a desperate chase for that initial, perfect high. Lila's transformation is the most palpable, a slow and tragic erosion of the vibrant young woman she once was. She begins to slip through the cracks of her own life, missing classes, ignoring calls from her family, and letting her ambitious dreams gather dust. The brilliant light that once danced in her eyes gives way to a dull, haunting glaze. Her laughter, once a boisterous and infectious sound, grows softer, more infrequent. Her life is no longer her own. It is governed by a dull, unquestioning obedience to the drug. The same group of friends who once gathered to share their hopes and dreams for the future now share needles and rolled-up bills. They encircle themselves in a thick, suffocating cocoon of dependency, slowly and methodically drowning together in the murky, stagnant waters of their shared addiction. The promises whispered by the love boat were lies, every single one. It did not bring them together. It is methodically tearing them apart, soul by soul, leaving nothing but empty shells in its destructive wake. The city's mood darkens, mirroring the growing distance between friends. Neon signs flicker, bars fall silent, and a heavy fog of despair settles in. Lila and her friends fracture, lost in addiction's grip. Once bright, their connections fade, each left alone, embers in the darkness. Silence falls over the city, broken only by sirens. News anchors report a surge of young lives lost to a new drug. Lila, alone in her room, stares at the screen, fear flickering in her eyes. She clings to the illusion of safety, even as the city's mournful soundtrack warns, no one is truly safe. The spirit demons, now fat and powerful from feeding on so much despair, tighten their invisible grip. They have become masters of manipulation, twisting the pure human need for connection into a weapon of self-destruction. Each hit of the love boat is no longer just an escape, it is a transaction. It is a stolen hug from a mother, a forgotten laugh with a sibling, a cancelled coffee date with a concerned friend. Every moment of genuine human warmth is traded for a fleeting chemical-induced euphoria. The price for this artificial love is the slow, painful erosion of all real love in their lives. This devastating trade-off becomes starkly clear one afternoon when Marcus's younger sister comes to his apartment, her face etched with worry. She finds him slumped on his couch, his eyes vacant, the remnants of his last high scattered on the coffee table before him. "Marcus, what's wrong?" she asks, her voice trembling. "Mom and Dad are so worried. We all are." She reaches out to touch his arm, to offer a simple, loving embrace. But Marcus flinches away, his mind clouded, his emotions numbed by the drug. He sees her concern not as love, but as an intrusion, an obstacle to his next fix. "Just leave me alone," he mutters, his voice raspy and unfamiliar. He cannot meet her eyes, filled with a mixture of pain and shame he's unable to process. His sister stands there for a moment, her hand frozen in midair, the offered hug rejected and stolen by the drug. Tears well in her eyes as she backs away, the brother she knew and loved, now a stranger, a hollowed-out version of himself. She leaves, and the silence that descends on the apartment is heavier and more desolate than before. The demons have won another small victory, severing another vital thread of human connection. This is the true price of the love boat. It is not paid in money, but in moments. It is paid in broken relationships, in the worried faces of loved ones, and in the slow, agonizing death of the soul. Lila and her friends thought they were buying love and happiness in a small white packet. They did not realize they were selling their humanity, piece by precious piece. The drug offered them a simulation of connection, but in return, it was systematically dismantling every real and meaningful bond they had ever known leaving them more isolated and alone than they had ever been before. One night, Lila is jolted awake by a nightmare. Her grandmother's laughter twisted into sinister whispers, memories invaded by darkness. Ghostly faces and spectral hands reach for her, panic rising as shadows close in. Just as she's about to be consumed, her phone vibrates, a lifeline shattering the nightmare's hold. Lila's trembling hand reaches for her phone in the darkness, the screen's harsh light revealing a desperate message from Marcus. "Help me, I'm losing it." The words hit her like a blow, cutting through her haze. In that moment, a fragile hope flickers. She decides she won't let him go under. Lila's urgent message calls her fractured group together. Marcus is in trouble. They respond, isolated but bound by old friendship. In Marcus's chaotic apartment, they find him lost and broken. But together they muster courage, facing darkness as one, determined to reclaim hope and fight for each other. Guided by Marcus's memory, the friends arrive at the forgotten warehouse, its silhouette looming in the city's industrial graveyard. Inside, shadows stretch across graffiti-stained walls and crates marked with the cryptic Love Boat logo. Determined, they vow to destroy it all, unaware of the ghosts and sorrow lingering in the air. Suddenly, the silence shatters. A slow, deliberate clap echoes. From the shadows, an impeccably dressed figure steps into the moonlight, charismatic, cold, and unsettling. He is the purveyor of misery, the supplier. "Welcome to my sanctum," he purrs. "Everything has a price. Redemption is the most expensive commodity of all. Are you sure you can afford it?" Despite the fear that shackles her limbs and screams in her mind, Lila holds her ground. She takes another deliberate step forward, drawing a metaphorical line in the dust and grime of the warehouse floor. "Show us what this really is," she demands, her chin held high. "Show us what you're selling. Are you proud of the lives you've destroyed for profit?" "Proud?" he echoes, feigning contemplation. "I provide a service. I offer love in a loveless world." "This isn't love," she sobs, her voice thick with self-loathing. "It's manipulation. It's poison. To truly break free, we have to sever our chains completely," Lila declares, her gaze locked on the supplier. The supplier lets out a full-throated laugh this time, a sound that is both chilling and deeply condescending. The supplier's laughter echoes, but Lila stands tall, her resolve hardening. The warehouse crackles with tension as she and her friends unite, hands clasped, forming a circle of defiance. Their bond becomes a beacon in the darkness, stronger than addiction or fear. Together they reclaim hope, ready to face whatever comes. In the warehouse, a battle of wills erupts. The supplier summons his spirit demons, but Lila stands strong, drawing on her friend's flawed, resilient love. She unleashes a wave of raw emotion, real, messy, and powerful, shattering the illusion of perfect love. The darkness recoils, fading before the light of genuine connection. The spirit demons, those parasitic entities of despair, begin to wail. They dissolve into nothingness, their dark energy dissipating like smoke. Lila and her friend's emotional honesty breaks the supplier's grip. The warehouse fills with a clean, empty silence, promising a new beginning. Lila, Noah, Ava, and Marcus stand amidst the wreckage, free at last. In the profound quiet, they hear the first birdsong of dawn. In the fragile hours of dawn, the warehouse stands silent, a graveyard of lost souls and reclaimed spirits. Lila and her friends step into the cool air, scarred but hopeful. The city before them is changed. The path ahead is uncertain, but for the first time, the choice is theirs. The choice is always yours. The journey ahead is not an ending, but a profound and challenging rebirth. As they walk away from the warehouse, each of the four friends echoes a silent personal vow. It is a promise to themselves and to each other to reclaim their lives, to bravely and honestly address their tumultuous pasts, and to begin the arduous process of forging new identities, identities free from the suffocating clutches of chemical dependency. They know the fight is far from over. The battle against the supplier was just the beginning. The true war will be the one they wage every day against their own inner demons and cravings. Noah, ever the steadfast anchor of the group, wraps a supportive arm around Lila's trembling shoulders. He looks at his friends, his eyes filled with a weary but determined warmth. "We're starting fresh, right?" he asks, his question both a plea and a statement of intent. "We do it together. No one gets left behind this time." Ava, her face still stained with tears, but her eyes shining with a newfound clarity, nods in fierce agreement. "Love is the ultimate truth," she says, her voice soft but certain. "And with it, we can build something real, something that lasts, something that can't be bought or sold." Marcus, who had been a withdrawn, silent observer for so long, finally steps forward, his gaze determined and clear. The artist within him, long dormant, is stirring back to life. "We can become advocates," he says, his voice finding a strength he thought he had lost forever. "We can use our story, our pain, to confront the dark allure of addiction head on. We can help make sure that others might avoid the hell we just walked through." He sees a new canvas before him, not of paint and fabric, but of community and action. His art can become a beacon for others who are lost. This is not the end of their story. This is the beginning of their true purpose. As they rise gently and unsteadily from the ashes of their old lives, they learn to grasp love not as a fleeting escape, but as a powerful, unbreakable lifeline. It is the raw, imperfect, and resilient connection between them that will guide them forward. In this world, a world still gripped by the sinister whispers of spirit demons and false promises, they have discovered that hope, fortified by genuine human connection, is the most potent and enduring magic of all. It is the antidote. It is the cure.